Right now, it's about being sexual, but not how to be actual woman and have your womb clean. Your womb has been ran through. It's plan B. It's parenthood. It's been ran through so many sticks inside those walls. And I want to say this in a way not to criticize you, but to understand you have been degraded by the street.
She is going in. Hey y'all, it's your girl Samantha Lee, and I'm here because I'm doing yet another reaction video. This one's a little spicy, y'all. I watched a little bit of it. But before I get into the content, I want to ask you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like the content that I'm posting, if you like the message that I'm spreading, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. Last but not least, you will see in a caption and in the description a link to my free ebook. All right, guys, it's been fun. Let me go ahead and read the title for this. It's called Women Get Humbled on Podcasts. Okay, that's what it is. I got it from Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Shout out to you, sir. I haven't watched it all the way through. We're going to do this together. But buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a ride. Let's go.
In the house. What more do you want? You got the car. You can go where you like. You can fool the man because all he cares is getting his balls emptied and getting his belly full.
How many women can take a picture of their house right now? If I told you right now, take a picture of your house, every room in your house. I want to see how it's organized, decorated. Is it a hot ass mess? Does it look like a trap house? Is it like a crash site? Is your mattress on the floor? You're worried about a bag, but your home, where you dwell, you live in the streets. If you're about that life, you're not taking care of a home. You don't really care what's going on in there. We've seen these videos on YouTube, and you have to say to yourself, I'm not making a home. What man wants to come home? And my home smells ratchet. A lot of women, your pH balance.
We going
all right. I do think that there is value, men, in really seeing how a woman, if you're looking for a woman that is traditional and you are looking for a woman that is more domestic, you should be mindful of how she keeps her own space. Not when y'all move in together in the beginning or whatever. No, you should be mindful of how she's lived, because when she starts getting comfortable, it goes back to that. So I think it's very important. If you want somebody that's clean, you should be mindful of how they keep their home. Because if you keep your home a certain way, it's a likelihood you probably take care of yourself a certain way. Now, that's not always the case. You might be a messy woman, but you keep yourself clean, okay? Listen, y'all, I was taught in school, it was actually church. This guy told me that he looks at women's nails because if a woman's nails isn't done or they look a certain way, he don't think that they're hygienic. I just thought that was really interesting because after that, I hadn't heard that. And then recently I've heard that again, that men actually do look at women's nails, their feet and things like that and take that into account. So ladies, if you're watching, please make sure that you got your nails and your feet done because some men are looking at that. Back to the main point. I do think if you are a man and you're watching this and you are dating or you're in a relationship with somebody, look at how they clean or keep their home. Look at how they keep their space because it's valuable data. If you want a woman that matters to you, you should be looking at how she keeps her space. Not when you just show up there. If you're on the FaceTime, you looking around, you see a roach on the wall, you're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? That is valuable data.
And I'm just gonna say this because we're gonna be out here. We out here, right? We're talking about sex work.
She is going solely. She is going. She said we talk. Oh, okay.
How many men right now? You take your panties off and they can smell them.
Oh.
Would you be shamed? Would you be shamed? Could you not take a shower for a couple days and your panties still smell clean?
That's just nasty. Why are you not gonna take a shower?
I can.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'll do it right now.
Tell them what the test was.
If it don't, then
your pH balance. That BV is banging. Why? Because vaginosis has passed, and I'm not putting it as a shame, but a lot of young women, your mothers have not taught you how to even wash yourself properly. Douche.
What you be doing?
Okay, no, it ain't even about you.
No, ladies, if you are watching this, if she is talking, douche is not good. That's not positive. You do not use that. Is actually not good for you. that actually brings about more bacteria. So just FYI, if you're watching that, that's not the way to go about it. I don't know if she brings that up in this video clip, but that's not what you should do. She is hitting on hygiene. And I think it is important for women's hygiene. I also think that I'm going to try to bring it back to where I think she's going with this. I think that she's definitely going to a place of like, hey, listen, your hygiene matters. We were not created to be sleeping around. And how do I know? Because our pH balance gets thrown off very easily. Okay. And so with that being said, our pH being thrown off can bring about different issues with our stuff. And so she's bringing up a situation of like, hey, if you're out and about and you moving like that, you've got to take care of yourself. Even if you're not moving like that, you got to take care of yourself. But even more so, you open yourself up to other things, other issues, other complications. That's where she's actually going with this. A lot of times when it comes to women and wanting to be sexually free and things like that, if we were created to do so, we wouldn't have so many issues biologically or with our anatomy to do that. That's just how I look at it.
Shouldn't even do a douche. And that's what I want to talk about that, because a lot of young women have not been taught this.
See, I told y'all, you should not be doing that.
And we've got to have these conversations. Your box is for the street, but your box, go to the bathroom, you take them off. Let me as a woman, I'll stand in that bath. I go to the bathroom and I smell you. I come in the bathroom after you and I'm smelling double. I don't know how much I can say.
Get them.
If you're smelling double ass stink and you think this is cute. You don't wear perfume. You think you just spray some body spray. You don't even know how to clean. You're not hygienic. Let me tell you something. I ain't got to take a shower for a week if I chose not to. Listen, my mother, because she taught me, you come around my mother, she's 74. She has no body odor.
Nothing.
From head to toe, she has no body hair. Why? Because she was taught how to be a woman. Right now, it's about being sexual, but not how to be actual woman and have your womb clean. Your womb has been ran through. It's plan B. It's parenthood. It's been ran through so many sticks inside those walls. And I want to say this in a way not to criticize you, but to understand you have been degraded by the street.
She is going in, okay? She is going in and she's making a point. I think that she's right that women today focus more about being sexual or being seen as seductive and sexy versus actually being a woman and the virtue of being a woman, the responsibility of being a woman, the beauty of femininity. I think we liken femininity to sexuality. It's not the same thing. Being a feminine woman, and there's beauty in that. And I think that we can get lost in the messaging that we're getting from society to be, to look, to do certain things because we see certain men being with certain women and we're like, oh, well, I got to do that to get that kind of guy. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. And the reality of it is, yeah, you might get him, but you're not going to keep him. She's hitting hard the point of being a woman and the beauty of being a woman and the responsibility of being a woman. And that society may be telling you one thing, there's another way to go about it. And a lot of us may be falling short in really teaching the right message to our young women that are coming up, a message that they're actually listening to. That's why I'm here.
Street has once your mind gone. They want you ran through with vaginosis. They want you going to the clinic. They want you taking the medication. They want you on plan B. Why? Because your mothers have failed you. Your fathers have failed you. The society has failed you. But there are women like me, like Pearl,
Auntie Jenny.
like Auntie, no, I was gonna say it. And Maggie, the substitute teacher, where we say we love you. We know you've been failed, and it's not a judgment on you. And we want to give you the cheat code so you don't have to be out here like these other women and struggle. Take this mess off. You don't need all.
She's right. The point of my platform is for women to understand that being virtuous, to being more than just your appearance, to having character, to having integrity. That's how you win. That's how you don't lose value like other women lose value by playing into this being a sexual person. And that's all you're valued for is like your sexuality and what you look like half naked or naked. I don't want a woman to feel that that's where their value comes from. some of the highest rates of insecurity that we've seen amongst our young women, depression and anxiety, to look a certain way, to be a certain way, so that you go viral or you get a lot of followers and this, that, and the third. That's why I made it a point for my platform for me to be someone who's just speaking my mind. I'm not doing other things to get attention. I'm using my brain. I'm covered up. I'm using my mind to be able to show you that you don't have to go that route. And that men of value, men of virtue, men of high status notice that thing. They notice how you present yourself. They notice how you carry yourself. They don't come at me like they'll come at someone else. They don't come at me the same way. They come at me with respect, with honor, with intention. That's the point that I'm getting from this. I know she's going hard. I know she is trying to make a point, but I want to bring out the meat of the message, which is we have to do better. We have to do better.
All this on you. Like, you got your nails done, your wig fixed, you got all this done. I go to the bathroom after you stank, girl.
Yeah.
That BV is BV.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm gonna let Auntie go. She's been
Over
holding.
the Bell Biv and
I
Devon.
just want to say two things. Right?
Not the Bell Biv.
I want to say two things. Is that when it comes to the stinkiness, size doesn't matter because the skinny just smells just as bad as the big
Just as
ones.
bad. It does not
Right.
matter. It does
And
not matter.
The second,
Could you tell me specifics and I could probably remember?
I'm talking about BV, something
I'm
that's
just
very
saying, she
serious
was-
for women.
no, all the
Bacterial
time.
vaginosis can cause you to be stared.
We don't need to be going in on her. Okay. She was saying some wild, she was going straight at it. Okay. And she was trying to make a point. So she was using very graphic, and I don't even have another adjective to describe how she was going at her point. So, of course, a young woman's going to laugh, and we shouldn't come at her for laughing because she's saying sticks and plan Bs and all this other stuff. Like, she's hidden. And she's like, I can't believe this woman's saying this. I can see why she's laughing. We don't need to come at her for that.
Arrow, because Brittany Renner talked about how she had 3 men down in 1 week and she had a nasty yeast infection.
Okay,
No,
that's not-
you
That's
had
not nice.
chlamydia and you had gonorrhea.
No, that's
Let's not
nice.
call it. No, it's not nice. I don't care what's nice.
No,
We're
no, no,
talking
no,
about
no.
facts.
I'm
We're
not
adults.
saying it's not nice.
If you busting it open and you taking 3 down, like, let's be adults. Like, there's nothing nice about you
No, I'm
taking
not-
3 down in your throat.
You're
And
hearing
your
me wrong
body.
here. Obviously, you can catch BV without having sex. You can catch.
Let's stop the
fresh-
cap. Stop the cap.
You can.
Stop that.
You
I know
genuinely
you
can.
can, but y'all are taking down
I
like
just
it's
found it
never been
funny.
seen in the world before.
I just genuinely found it funny. That's all.
Y'all
That's all.
BV was never this important because women had a man and they were not running the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got yeast infections running up the streets. Like I said, I will take, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but we can go to the bathroom right now.
Let's do it.
And I'm a grown woman.
I'm not about to get
lost.
Nothing will be
I'm not
left.
about to get
You
lost.
take
nothing.
No. And listen.
That's right.
If we're talking
Are you
about
trying to do a taste test? Like, what you doing? Like, yeah.
no, if we're talking about sex work, where we're going to go that raw, I feel like I have to speak in that way.
No,
And I don't say it to put you down, but understand you have been failed as a woman. As a young woman, your mother has failed you. You're ran through, your walls are ran through and bust through, and you are dealing with diseases and everything else, and you're dealing with infections. And when I go to the bathroom after a young woman and you're stink, like, I'm sorry. Like, I should never go to the toilet. I go to any restaurant right now. I go to the mall,
Somebody done
restaurant,
triggered you today.
and your butt
Without.
stink. Man,
My
you
ass
have
don't
been
stink,
failed.
so
You
I'm
have been
okay.
failed. That is up to judgment. Now, I'm not saying you, but you can't judge if you're I'm just like, good God, girl, what is going on? Like, and I say that because who was your mama?
Well, we can't. Here's the thing. I understand. Young lady is right. BV does not just come. Let's be real. It doesn't just come from that. I mean, it is a prevalent way to have complications, but it's not just from sleeping around and doing things that could cause your pH to be thrown off, and therefore you have that situation. I think that the message really does come down to, I mean, because we're kind of harping on this point. And I think that sexual hygiene and feminine hygiene is definitely important and paramount, but that's not the point. The point of the matter is that because we're kind of getting lost in the other things. Point is the role models that young women are looking up to are leading them down a road that has consequences. And so therefore, I think that there are women that have to have a voice and speak out and say things to catch attention in order for us to get the message across. We have failed because we've made certain things popular and certain things more normal, or normalizing certain things that we shouldn't. And that's just how I look at it. I think a virtuous woman, a woman with beauty and brains, her spirituality, I think that's the goal. And making anything else the goal is failing. That's what I want my daughter to look up to, being a Proverbs 31 woman. That's what I want her to see, a woman of virtue, and see that as winning. I was talking about sexual hygiene and things like that. That's part of what comes with moving around in a way that you were not created to. That's not the point.
That did not have you keeping yourself clean as a woman.
Her shit
Guys,
stink, too.
I want the men to tell me, is personal hygiene and smell of a woman,
Priority.
is that she can be the baddest?
Yeah.
Most women get ghosted over
And
the smell.
her,
It's a non-negotiable.
and it is nasty down. It is some stank down there.
Non-negotiable.
But a lot of young women, they don't know how to clean themselves. I have preteen daughters. I have to get behind them. Like, do not play with me. You are taking 2-3 showers a day, a bath, soak. I don't play those games. How many mothers in here say you getting in the bath, Epsom salt? We putting a little vinegar in there. We're doing whatever we have to. You will not walk out this house without your deodorant, without being cleanly shaven, without having your body in order. A lot of us, because our mothers were struggling, working, whatever, we were left to figure it out on our own. We go to YouTube and find out vaginal care. But you're ready to bust it open on OnlyFans and your box stank.
See, my mother taught me, and I see her point where there's a lot of young women because of the lack of maybe a mother being present or a parent being present or whatever that is for them, have found themselves doing other things or whatever that is. I do understand the importance as a young woman of having a present mother who is teaching you these things. You don't need to learn from social media. You don't need to learn from YouTube. It's better to learn from a female figure you can trust. So I see her point in that. I will be that for my daughter, God willing. I'm still here to be able to show her these things. I definitely intend to, but I just say God willing because I don't know God's plan. But I do understand what that did for me growing up. And so I see her perspective, and some young women aren't getting that. And therefore, walking around not really knowing how to care for themselves, but then are putting themselves out there sexually, not really knowing how to take care of themselves in that way.
Have a very good figure growing up. Maybe they didn't get taught the things. I don't necessarily think it's their fault. Yeah, they should have taught themselves what you say in hygiene and whatnot. But what if you grew up in a way that you wasn't taught these things? Again, it's not necessarily your fault, but you've had to learn yourself and you're being judged for that.
Okay. Is that young lady a virgin?
I'd prefer not to answer that
I was
question.
going to ask you who taught you how to have sex.
We're gonna go on that conversation where it's like, oh,
Because no, what I mean is
you don't
that
know how to
when
cook,
women
but
get
you
to a
learn how to
certain
suck
age,
dick.
like this is the
obviously,
excuse.
no, it makes sense. I know what you're gonna say to me,
What was I
right?
going to say? You mind, reader?
Sorry, no, I
Right.
don't know what you're gonna say.
What I was
but
going to say was that you get to an age when you're an adult, and now you're saying, "Oh, this person hasn't taught me that. That
No,
person
I'm not
hasn't
saying
taught me
that.
that."
Personally, for me,
But
I'm just being
people
devil's
y'all
shall
learn
advocate.
how to do what that
but
mouth
nobody.
do.
I'm being
Exactly.
devil. No, I'm just
Y'all
being.
know
I'm
y'all
saying-
have twerking classes, but you don't know how to clean your
Priority.
walls.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm just being devil's
You think
advocate.
a
I'm just
douche-
saying to
and
you,
I'm not
like, what
saying-
would you say to
but
the
this is
people
what
that
I would
say
say.
didn't
Internet's
learn?
there for everybody
hold
to
on.
learn,
Auntie
and if
Jenny,
you pick up some
Auntie
stuff,
Jenny,
you can pick up other stuff.
Auntie Jenny, let's put a tender hand on it. Let's put a tender hand on it. We got
You can
fire,
go.
and it's not to anyone in this room. But what it is, we are upset with how society has brainwashed you because we believe in all of you being beautiful. And we feel like they have tried to brainwash you into something that you never meant to be. And we feel like you've been failed.
I feel that. I feel the tender hand. Thank you for bringing the tender hand, because that's exactly where I thought you were going, is that we feel like it's society and what has been taught and what has been reinforced. We are failing our young women. Totally on point. I'm with you on this.
Come hard because society comes hard at you
100%.
and tries to tell you who to be.
100%.
And we want you to win.
Yeah.
We want you to be wise. We want you to not have to be out here selling and opening your walls in order to make $1.
Yeah.
That is a failure of your parents. That is a failure of society. That is a failure of your education, and is a failure of who you are in your morals.
It's a failure of
But
you.
guess what? But once you acknowledge that, we all have to come to a place of failure. Men have to do it every day. Men are told they ain't ish. Men are told if you're broke and dusty, we don't want no scrubs. If you're short, if you're this. Body positivity only exists for women.
Yeah.
Where is the men on the cover of?
And that, again, where I'm at with her is that, at the end of the day, women going to different means, doing different things. We all understand people have circumstances, but I want to make women of virtue that invest more in their mental, invest more in their character, invest more in their integrity than anything else. And we're in a day and age where we invest more in like, oh, the likes and the follows, and if we hot and if we not, and did it go viral, and this, that, and the third. And those things are important, right? I'm building my social media platform. It's dope to go viral. It's amazing for a platform to do well. I understand that, but that is not the most important thing, nor will I allow myself to sell my soul for that. My soul is more important. And I think a lot of young women, whether we realize it or not, when you're doing certain things to make money, there's an aspect of your soul that has to not be there. You have to remove yourself on some level. And that's not to shade anyone. That's not to degrade anyone. That's just to say we have to be mindful. We have to value ourselves more than $1. It breaks my heart to see young women make decisions out of desperation. And I get it. But you are worth so much more than that.
Cosmo and all these magazines. So men are used to these hard talks. So if you haven't been raised around men, my father, he didn't call me princess. He didn't call me queen. He didn't call me beautiful. When I was born as a baby, I was a little chubby thing. He called me meatball. I was a meatball. As I grew, it went from meatball to meat and meaty and big meaty and fat meaty. To this day, my father's like, "What's up, fat meaty?" And he would tell me when my thighs was looking extra thick. And he said, "You ain't like that. You got a lot of extra roll. Look at that." But he would say it in a way, and he trained me in a way to say, or if I didn't put deodorant on that day, my father said, "Ooh, Lord." Like my father would tell me, "You stink, God."
Because
dang.
back
If I put my
bathroom-
underwear on the floor in the bathroom, my father would tell my mother, "You better get that girl." Or if I left the bathroom and my butt stank, my father would tell my mother, "You better put her in the tub."
Tonight was quite an episode, y'all. I think she left on a point that, like, I was raised with two brothers. I have a father. I've had a stepdad. My dad and my stepdad handled me with a very gentle hand. My mom was a little bit harder on me, especially when it came down to things of hygiene and, how to care for myself and how to take care of myself and make sure that I work out and make sure that I take care of my skin and my hair and my smell and, keep a home and do different things. Like I was taught that. I was taught those things. And I do understand where she's coming from. Sometimes when young people make certain decisions, it is a reflection of the parenting. Sometimes it's not. I'm not going to always say it's your parents' fault or whatever. Sometimes circumstances happen. Sometimes things happen. But at the end of the day, I understand that the message at the very end is that we want our young women to be taught something different, something real. And society's reinforcing messages, as I said before, that are false and that carry consequences. And a lot of the young women that you're looking up to have felt those consequences, are feeling those consequences, and are trying to actively make other decisions, turning to spirituality, turning to awareness, turning to other things in order to be able to rectify some of the things they did when they were younger that they may regret now. I don't want y'all to have to go through that. And so I'm using my platform, and I think other women are too, to be a different kind of influence in a world that's trying to keep you in a place that I don't think you'll find real peace or real success or real fulfillment, truly fulfillment. Real wealth in this life is fulfillment. I don't think you'll find real fulfillment going down that road. All right. So anyway, guys, I love y'all. Thank you for watching the content. Again, please hit the subscribe button if you like content like this. If you want to be a part of this game changer movement, hit the notification bell so that you are kept updated on what I'm posting, when I'm posting it. And then the last thing is going ahead and downloading or clicking the link in the caption and in the description to download my free ebook, a gift from me to you. Not only get the book, but also be a part of my email list so that you are kept abreast of what your girl is doing. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my family today.